Hey everyone, welcome back to the third video in this JUMP example, or JMP. And in this example, we're going to be looking at a latent class analysis and how to add that to our text explorer. So the first thing we're going to do is go up to the red arrow for the text explorer. And again, this is for question 1B1. And we're going to select latent class analysis. Now from here, you can see that we have some different options that we can select, and generally figuring out these numbers is done through kind of an iterative process to generate the clusters and see if the results match what we expect. But for this example, it's already been done a couple times, and reasonable terms for this is 1,000. The frequency can be 2, and we're going to be looking at 7 clusters. So you can see that it adds quite a bit to the text explorer. And so essentially what it does is it's using all the words used in the responses to create different clusters down here. So you can see that there are 7 of them, which is what we selected. And the important thing to keep in mind here is that is the results from the latent class analysis that will tell us the cluster probabilities by row. And these are the numbers that you're adjusting the specifications when you start your latent class analysis to try to keep these numbers as high as possible. So you can see that in row 1, it's 99.7% sure that those words used would belong to cluster 1. And you can see that for all the rows, it tells you a percentage of how confident it is that it would belong to that cluster. And you can see up here in the top terms by cluster, it kind of shows some of the most common words used to assign each response to a cluster. And in addition to generating these results, you can also save some of the information for later. So if you go to latent class analysis, you can save the probabilities, which will save it to the original data set that can be used for further analysis. And you can also save the probability formulas, and that can just be added to the data set for further analysis, but that won't be something that we'll be using in this example. And then the final thing we're going to do in the text explorer is we're going to save the document term matrix. And for this example, we're going to save it to 10 for the maximum number of terms and 10 for the maximum number or minimum term frequency. And we're going to change the weighting to frequency, then select OK. And what should happen here is that first it saves the frequencies for each word. Then also you can see it's added to the data set the frequency for each different response, the probabilities for the clusters, the cluster that's most likely to be in, and then finally the formulas. So that's just a short demonstration how to create a latent class analysis using JMP.